Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Taking Over the Photo Pit, a music photography podcast held by me, Boston Schulz, where I interview badass music photographers, and I am so excited. It is 2021, and this is the second year of having the podcast, and last year I was able to do 29 interviews, and it was just so exciting to sit down with great photographers, some that I knew personally, some that I was meeting for the first time, and just like hear how they got started in the music industry, their tips, sharing their stories, sharing their advice to help other people further their career. It warms my heart. I'm just so excited and so happy of where the podcast is today, and I'm so excited for this upcoming year. And I just wanted to hop on here before we dive into more and more weeks of new podcasts, new interviews, new episodes. I just wanted to say that my inbox is always open for suggestions. If you know someone that you would want to be featured on this podcast, or you have questions that you want me to ask, please feel free to email me or message me on any social media. I am more than happy to feature some amazing photographers that you know on this podcast and answer the questions that you guys really want to hear. So please feel free to reach out to me with any suggestions. All of that being said, I just wanted to recap a few things that I have learned over this past year and my time in the industry, and just start the year off on that note, because I think that there's so much advice that we can take from what's going on right now and just like how to keep working and moving forward, and also just keeping ourselves ready for the next time we can do shows. I know that certain areas are open for shows. Sadly, I'm in Los Angeles, which is in a pretty significant lockdown where I am not shooting shows, have not shot shows for a while, and don't plan on shooting shows for a while because everything is so constrained due to COVID. And I am really ready to get back in the pit. But doing this podcast and listening to everyone's advice, there's just a few tips that I want to take for me personally into this next year and into the music career. The first thing that I just want to reiterate and remind myself is to just be nice. This comes up almost every single podcast, is you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who is connected to who and how that's going to impact your career. And just being nice to people around you and just being really warm and enjoyable to work with can get you so far in this industry. This industry is so much about who you know and honestly how fun you are to be around, because everyone in this industry wants to have fun and they want to hang out with people who are fun. So if you're not fun, most likely you're going to get passed over for another job. And I get that we're in the pit most of the time, just taking photos and not necessarily hanging out with someone. But when it comes to touring, those relationships are so important. Even though I don't tour, I know that the relationships that I've built are so crucial to my career being a photographer. So just being nice gets you so far, and it's just so important and such a good reminder, because I know we all have bad days. But to just be nice, be positive, be happy, and just go with the flow, and it's really going to help. The next thing I've learned is to don't be afraid to try something new, whether that's reaching out to someone, sending that email, making that phone call, introducing yourself to someone at the bar, trying a new style, whether that's a whole photo shoot concept, editing style, a different way of shooting, or a whole new thing like doing video instead of just photo. Trying something new helps us progress in our careers, and obviously it's super scary to try something new because most of the time we're not perfect at it when we first try it. So if you're like me, that's terrifying to try something new. I think the first time that I tried video, I was out of my mind scared and just like so grumpy because I just had no idea what I was doing and I was in over my head. But the thing is I learned so much from just like jumping full force into it and trying something new. So continuously like trying to build something, trying any new experience, that's really going to help you in your career move forward. It's going to help open you up to new opportunities, new options. So I know that it's scary. I know that it's hard to try something new, but every single person that I talk to, you know, we had that moment where even at the beginning of our careers, like we're worried about what we're getting into, what we're starting, and everyone has that little bit of like scaredness when they first start, and you just kind of have to get over it and just jump right in and try something, and it leads to such amazing things. So do not be afraid. Go ahead and try something new. Another thing is like feel free to find your niche and like stick with it. And don't be worried about what other people are doing. Now, this took me a long time to figure out because I was so jealous of other artists that were touring with bands. And I was just like, why can't I be that photographer that is touring? Why isn't that me? And then I realized that I don't like touring. I don't like leaving my house. And I was jealous of something that I never wanted to do. So I think that it's really important for all of us to step back and think about what we want to do, how we want to accomplish it, and then stick to that. And just like really be happy with your part in the scene. I personally love working with local bands and publications. I shoot larger bands through publications, but most of the time I love going to the local venues here and shooting local bands. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that I love. I don't want to tour. I don't want to leave my house. I like being able to go home at the end of the night, edit photos, and be in my own bed. So for me to be comparing myself against touring photographers, it makes zero sense. So I know that my space is staying here in LA and working with local bands. So I really try and hone in on my skill set, whether that's communicating with local bands, making sure that I'm really good at photographing dark, low-lit venues, and just really building up my connections with publications. So if there is a bigger show that I want to photograph, I am able to do that. Then I'm not worried about whenever bands go on tour and getting jealous over that. And I think that there's a lot in this industry that we compare ourselves to other people doing awesome things, and I totally get that. But at the same time, if that's not you, don't hold yourself to those standards. Just make sure that you find what is true to you, what you want to do, and stick with that and really build up your skills and expertise there. And to wrap it all up, I love this question that I started asking through the podcast, and that's what is success to you when it comes to your career? What does your success look like, and what do you define as success? What do you want when it comes out of your music photography career? And I love this question because it's so different for everyone. And when I first went into starting this podcast, I kind of thought that everyone was going to have the same idea of success. Like, success is touring with the biggest name band in the world, and that's what success is to me. And I'm going to be making millions of dollars from touring with them as their photographer. And while a lot of people are excited about touring and want that to be their dream career, there's so many people that I talk to that it just made me so happy to hear them say, success is doing more of what I'm doing. And just being really happy and proud of the work that you're putting out there and the moments that you're capturing, like the smiles that you're putting on people's faces, the support for local bands and up-and-coming bands that they have these badass photos to show and like move their careers forward. just like doing more of that and hearing people talk about this and like lighting up, and they're saying, this is what success is to me, doing more of what I'm doing now. That made me so happy. And the thing that I really want to take away from that is kind of going back to the whole competitiveness. You have your own place in this industry, and you don't have to compete with everyone because everyone's idea of success is different. So you have your own place in the industry because what you want is going to be different than what everyone else wants. Obviously, touring bands can only take on one photographer, so many photographers for each tour. Totally get that. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is you do have a place in this industry. You just really have to figure out what success is for you. What do you want to accomplish? What makes you smile? And what you want to see when it comes to the end of the day when you're making money from this. Like, how are you being fulfilled from this career? And then sticking to that, and obviously, like I said, honing down on those skills and making sure that you're really good at what you do. But I think that it's so cool to hear other photographers talk about success and just being happy with where they are and what they're doing, because I would have never thought that this podcast would have brought me so much joy and being like, oh, I want to do more of this. I'm not great at it now, but I'm going to put myself in this like full force and get better at this and do more of this. And that made me really excited. And success to me is hearing people being excited about this podcast and being excited about the work and experience that I'm sharing. That's success to me. So that's where I'm putting my effort this year. And it's just so exciting to hear other people passionate about what they're doing. So I'm really curious, what are you guys passionate about? Think about it. Bring it into this new year, 2021, hopefully better than 2020. And I'm just so excited to continue on this journey with taking over the photo pit. So thank you so much for listening. I will see you next week with a brand new episode, and I will see you in the pit.